So with that, the case that Rachel and Olivia has chosen is one that you all have messaged us hundreds of times about, and that is the murder of JonBenét Ramsey. So here is your crash course.
The couple of days after Christmas in 1996, most likely, no matter where you lived, you probably might remember your local papers and magazines were flooded with images of this beautiful 6-year-old blue-eyed blonde girl who was like just angelic looking. She was a pageant girl from a very wealthy family in sparkly dresses. I mean, those are the images most of us saw, named JonBenét Ramsey. And the reason we were flooded with these images was because she had been found murdered in her family's home. It was a story none of us could believe. It was a mystery that all these years we are still desperate to solve. It's one of the most notorious cases in true crime. And 25 years later, despite every possible speculation, the one thing we actually know is that her killer remains free because nobody has been arrested in this case. So here's your crash course on the murder of JonBenét Ramsey.
JonBenét was born August 6, 1990 to John, a self-made millionaire, and Patricia, who everyone called Patsy, who was a former Miss West Virginia. JonBenét also had an older brother, Burke Ramsey, as well as 2 half-siblings, John and Melinda Ramsey, and another half-sister, Elizabeth, who passed in 1992 at age 22 from a car accident. They lived in this stunning home in Boulder, Colorado. Now, the conspiracies of this little girl's murder piled on top of dead ends with a dash of mishandled evidence and a false confession makes this crime more confusing than my mom's Wi-Fi password. Seriously, Mom, no one is trying to pirate your internet. Chill out. It just feels like every stone had been turned. It felt like every theory was exhausted. Members of the family were all made a suspect, and other possibilities such as an intruder, the local Santa, the housekeeper, the electrician were all eliminated through DNA. But on top of all of that, the family was really publicly accused of sexualizing JonBenét by forcing her into these pageants, and then talk of sexual abuse circulated. But we need to focus on the facts. So here is what we know.
On Christmas night, the Ramsey family went to a holiday party, and early the next morning, which was December 26, 1996, John and Patsy, they had to get up early because they had a family trip planned to Michigan, to Lake Michigan, and they discovered their, what would be a parent's worst nightmare. Their daughter was missing from her bed, but they only discovered that because as Patsy was coming downstairs like at 5:30 a.m. or around 5 a.m., she discovered a ransom note on their stairwell demanding exactly $118,000. And we will talk about this crazy ass note, maybe the weirdest freaking thing ever I've seen in a case. Of course, the police immediately suspected the parents, but 6 hours, the police came within like 6 minutes of them making a 911 call. And hours later, the police, who did not do a thorough search themselves, suggest, hey, John, why don't you and a friend go check out, see if anything's been missing from the house. They go into the basement, and John comes running upstairs with JonBenét's body. And he had found her down there, like down in the basement. Found her covered in a blanket, and there's apparently like some tape on her mouth, and he took that off. So obviously he's disturbed the crime scene in all kinds of ways.